And we are live.
Hello,
hi.
everyone.
So,
You know what I just noticed is Zora
Oi.
has an actual background up, which means her camera's working.
Yeah, I just
Finally.
have a headache or a migraine
Yeah.
right now that I'm trying to get rid of, so.
But it means your camera's actually working, because for the longest time it was the actual camera issue.
No, it's still OBS that I'm using.
Oh.
It's still OBS.
We're circumventing the problem.
Yeah, I just feel like at this point I just need to get an entirely different camera, which is stupid because it works for tilt. So, don't know what's up.
I have the same camera you have.
Mm-hmm.
Same here, so I don't know why.
Yep.
Yeah, it's just weird.
Yeah.
Webcams are fickle.
Mm-hmm.
They're right up there with printers.
unless a
Yeah.
small child or an animal
Oh my
chewed on
God.
the cord.
Don't even
What the
get me started
fuck's
with
a printer?
printers.
They're one of those archaic piece of tech that no IT person will touch with a 10-foot pole.
That's
And
fair.
yet somehow that became my specialty because I worked on that the most in my department when I did IT, and I said, "Why me? Fucking hate
Because
these
you
things.
volunteered.
Why?"
The trick is, you don't. You look at it and go, oh, no, can't help you.
Yeah.
Yep. You just
You play
do,
stupid.
You do the age old, office thing of tap tap, not it.
I don't know how to fix
Remember.
those, so sorry.
Remember, Goblin Rule. The person that gets selected is the one that doesn't step backwards.
Mm-hmm.
Rosa, you're a liar. My voice is not too low.
Is it though?
I don't know. I don't
too
know.
low?
Is it because my computer has just decided that, it's going to be temperamental? And I had the
I
audacity.
hear you on stream.
I had the audacity to unplug it to make sure that, or unplug certain wires to make sure that the camera was in the USB slot.
Let me unmute stream on my computer and see if I can hear you.
No, I
heard you.
I get what Rosa's talking about. The volume on the Go XLR, when I first turn the computer on, will only go up halfway instead of going to the preset volume settings that I have for it for whatever reason.
No, that sucks.
And now my cat's being a pain. Oh. But yeah, here we are with the final episode of Mice and Merriment. Sorry for the little delay in getting started. I was dealing with tech issues. But, fingers crossed that tech issues are resolved after Christmas. Because I know for a fact that I'm getting a USB hub for Christmas, and which should alleviate all USB 3 problems that I have.
That's exciting.
Will they? Who knows? I got to figure out where to put it, though, because it is a bit sizable. Anyway, that's for another issue. That's for future me's problem. Tonight we've got the finale of our little mice adventure here. As the group is now tracking down the Goose and a fellow mouse that seemingly has stolen the bags of not only the Father of Merriment, but the group of Merriment, as you met other representatives from other peoples of including the mice representative. You also met the fairy representative, Holly, and the weasel representative, Jacob. But with a little bit of a conversation, you all began to head out and track the Goose as it flew away with these merriment bags, and a mouse just appeared on screen. But
Don't mind me.
as luck would have it, it's a goose. It loses feathers. So Talon had a nice, easy track to follow, leading you guys deeper into the forest towards your quarry. But before we get into the finale here, we are giving dice away today, as it is another episode of December, and I think I caught Fox off guard.
My brain's not working today.
That's fine. My brain is on autopilot, to be honest. Like I have
Mine's not
thought
even on that.
I have thought the current day was Friday for the past 3 days.
I mean, I'm almost there. I thought today was Wednesday.
I would be so miserable if today was Wednesday. Even more miserable than I already am. Let's give away some dice.
Yeah, let's give away some dice.
Yeah.
So that I just posted in the Twitch chat is the set that we are going to give away. Real quick, a few rules before I open up the raffle here. Rule 1 is you cannot enter on someone else's behalf. We have this rule in place to ensure that everyone has equal opportunity to get into these giveaways. You must be present when the drawing happens in order to win. The drawing for this one will probably happen when we come back from our first break, whenever that happens to take place. If your name is drawn, you do have to tell us what it is that you won. Simply saying dice or anything of that sort will suffice. That just shows us that you're paying attention to what is being given away and not just entering every single giveaway that you come across. Rule number 4 is that if you do win, you have to be a member of our Discord. We use that to verify that you are who you say you are, and I will later be using that to contact you to get your shipping information. If you aren't a member of our Discord, there is a link in the info panels, or you can type !Discord in Twitch chat, and the bot will spit out a response that has a link to it. And then finally, because we have been and will continue to be doing these giveaways all month long, you cannot win more than once within a week. You cannot win more than twice total. This is, again, just to ensure that as many people get into these giveaways as possible. However, to directly contradict that last rule, because today was a bit of a day, let's go ahead and say this particular giveaway is exempt from that. So even if you have already won this week or have already won twice total, you can still enter this one.
I like that rule.
Those are pretty.
Here, and I will open up this giveaway.
They remind me of glaciers. Do they have a name?
I'm sure they did at some point, but I accidentally deleted the list of all the names of my dice sets.
Ooh. Quick, Sora, name the dice.
Sonata 4 campaign.
Yes.
Those are like
so they don't exist
sparkly
then.
Oh, I need to see
seafoam
what
blue
they look
wave.
like. Hold on.
Yeah, they're like a mix of an opaque, sparkly, almost pearlescent white and a slightly sparkly, transparent blue color.
Oh, that looks like ice of some kind.
Yeah,
does.
to me
Glacial
they
lake.
look like little baby
Glacial
glaciers.
lake?
What do
I
they,
like
what do
that.
they call baby
Yeah.
glaciers?
Glacial Lake. That's what I'm calling them.
Facial
So-
something, that's for sure.
The raffle is now open. All you have to do is type !December and the bot will make note of it. And yeah, again, the drawing for this one will happen when we come back from our first break.
See, were you thinking of the word iceberg?
No, actually, I was thinking of calving of icebergs, but that's a
Oh.
dumb name for them. So I think that would just be an iceberg.
I like
I'm
glacial
not gonna
lake.
lie, I did think iceberg at first, but glacial reminds me of the wall of ice, how it
Mhm,
shimmers.
mhm.
That's where my brain went anyway.
So good luck to everybody who is entering to get those click clack math rocks.
Oh, and there's our science person chiming in with the right name.
Yep. Don't ask me to
Thank
pronounce
you.
it though.
Why does it have a name? It should just be ice.
Which country
Because
is
it's
it?
a specific ice.
Is it the Inuit that have all the hundreds of names or a lot of names for ice and snow? There's some group.
I mean, that'd make sense.
Either that or one of the Nordic countries.
Yeah, yeah.
They're notorious for that. And some of the words you're like, why?
Because
So
I like how unique all the color schemes are for all these dice we've been giving away too. Like they're not something I stumble across normally.
That was my goal with making them, was obviously using color schemes that aren't awful to look at, but also trying not to produce the same types of things that we've seen in so many other dice sets.
you know, I was trying to find music for tonight, but apparently Sirenscape, it just doesn't want to work.
Not gonna lie, throughout our last games, I've just had Christmas songs on.
The Goose stole all the music too.
No, the Goose didn't steal
No.
the music. The Goose just decided to cast extremely bad bandwidth. Because for some reason I can't get a connection to Sirenscape that's under 400.
A lot of people having a lot of issues with the internet lately.
it's Christmas and everybody deciding they want to like 12-hour video call every relative they have.
True.
Anyway, while I search through our optional playlists here, Talon and the rest of you, you've been on this Goose's trail for probably about a good hour now. Though in the past few minutes, Talon, you've noticed that the trail of feathers has spaced out more. Almost as if the wings are no longer frantically beating to put distance between the crime scene and the goose and this mouse that seems to be riding it at the moment.
B.
Though, even with the scarce, the ever-growing distance between feathers, you're still able to stay on this road. And you come, and you've already passed probably about another two rest points. Though neither of them looked like they were damaged or anything in that sort of way. It's a little pristine, but Robin, you make a mental note to maybe once this is done to check back on those just in case, to make sure that the interior of the rest points are up to code and to see if they're missing any supplies to add on to your notes. But with the more pressing matter of the goose at hand, you begin to continue on down this road. And then Talon, the wings just stop. Not the wings, but the feathers just stop. Though you don't see any footprints around that would suggest that maybe the goose has landed. As you stand there with no feathers there to guide you anymore, is there anything you want to do, Talon?
good damn question. Do I have anything? I mean, possibly. Do we? That's scout. I don't have the skill to do what I want to do. Is there an obvious direction this thing was heading? If the path was on a map, would there be any sort of logical direction it's going?
Go ahead and give me. Do you have pathfinding?
No, as I'm going to actually ask this out loud in hopes that someone will have a clue. Do we?
The one that does just stepped away from her desk.
Would I be able to make a determination here? I have pathfinding and I also have cartography.
Do you have a map?
You know what? That's a valid question. If there wasn't one in the equipment then that we were given, then no, I don't.
Okay, so go ahead and roll pathfinding in that matter.
That is a thing that I would need dice for, which I would have if I was prepared. This is all going to go terribly for us because I have Sylvia's dice on my desk still. We all know how well those roll.
Oh, maybe they'll roll better for everyone except Sylvia.
We'll find out. One success, one failure.
You don't necessarily know the direction you're heading at the moment. You've kind of just been focused on quickly following after Talon and following after the feathers. You know, you haven't been led off the path though.
So I will turn to Talon. Well, I can't say for sure where it's headed, but I can say that it has been following the path up to this point, so perhaps it still is.
Well, then I'm going to make a bold assumption, continue following the path.
Okay.
If the goose wants to stay on the rails, we'll stay on the rails.
What wises does everyone have?
Armor and forest.
Armor and Predator?
Forest, mouse guard, predator, and tunnel.
Craft and hidey hole.
What of Rupert?
I am looking through my sheet to try to find them. 1 second. I'm slow. New sheet, who this? You're talking about our wises, right?
Yes.
Yes, poison wise and nut wise.
Yeah, I think this would be a forest-wise roll, Raven. Since you're leading the party here.
Okay. Okay. One success.
You begin to follow this path more and more, and you begin to get a feeling that something's wrong. You should have found more feathers by now. Given the rate that it was dropping feathers previously, you should have had some sort of trail. But you come to a split in the road. Neither road that you can see within your eyesight has any feather or any sign that the goose has come this way.
I will turn to Robin. I don't see feathers. I think we lost the goose.
Perhaps my assumption was wrong. Perhaps it did not follow the path. Back when we stopped to get a better lay of the land, did you see any other directions that it may have gone? Do you think it would have headed deeper into the woods, or perhaps diverged from the path and gone eastward? I'm afraid I'm not too familiar with the habits of geese myself, so I can't contribute too much in that regard.
That's something Squeakers could figure out with like a predator-wise roll. See what the normal behavior for a typical goose would be.
Unfortunately, no, because a goose, even though they are complete assholes, are not predators.
That's fair.
Better fooled me.
Right?
I mean, they like to act like they are, but they're not predators.
Would a survivalist roll indicate what a goose might do?
Unfortunately, survivalist wouldn't really indicate what a goose would do, because that's more the mice themselves surviving out in nature, or doing things out in the field that would allow them to survive.
Oh. Lore mouse just pertains to mouse lore, right?
Yeah, it pertains to the history and stories of the mice.
Talon, with your expertise as a scout, if you were making a getaway from some pursuers, is it possible that you would deliberately leave a trail for them to follow in order to send them down the wrong path?
Mhm.
While you yourself make a getaway elsewhere. And if that were the case, in those shoes, would you diverge from the path and head into the potential danger of the forest to make that getaway? Or would you have a different plan in mind?
I personally, I mean, if you're being chased, you already know where the danger is. Running somewhere else, you could always put, even if something decided to come after you, it would end up between you and the people chasing you, so it could also be their problem. So yes.
Given
Yes, I would
that
run.
possibility, then, and also given that our friends of merriment set up a trap for the goose off the beaten path, I think it might be likely that the goose treaded off the path, and that is where we should go. However, the direction of which, I don't know.
We need to search for goose markings.
Ah, that is a good point, actually. Perhaps we shouldn't be looking for feathers any longer. Perhaps we should be looking for droppings.
Or anything. Really.
One thing I do know about geese, and this may be a little bit of the player knowledge coming out because there's a lot of geese up here, is they shit all the time.
Everywhere.
So perhaps
It's really
that's
a
what
form
we
of
should be looking
propulsion.
for.
We're tracking poop. That's what you want us to do, is to track poop.
That's what I heard.
mean,
There's no more feathers.
if
Viable way of tracking.
if you have a better suggestion, I'm very, very open to hearing it.
Priscilla waves her hand with the rapier, get someone's attention.
Yes.
Is it possible that we saw so many feathers and then fewer feathers because at some point the goose doubled back on its trail and headed back the other way?
That's very possible, yes.
I mean, it's always great fertilizer.
The only determination that we've made at this point is that it is likely that the goose did not head this far down the path. So whether that means doubling back down the path or heading off the path is the next decision that we need to make.
Well, oh, go ahead.
Nope. Go ahead.
I was just thinking. I mean, if the raccoon is still further up the road, it would be kind of silly for it to go back up the road and potentially bump back into the raccoon, right?
It does seem counterintuitive, yes.
Like going right back into a fight you just escaped? I don't know. My 2 cents.
It is a very valid point. I think the chances of the goose heading straight back towards those which he just robbed is very slim.
Sorry,
So,
oh, go ahead.
well, so then if the lots of feathers indicate it was going fast, and fewer feathers maybe indicate it slowed down, and then maybe that's where it turned off?
That is the direction that I am leaning myself, yes. Where we last lost track of the feathers is perhaps the general area where it diverged from the path. The dilemma with that, however, is which way did it diverge from the path? Perhaps we should be heading back to that area and searching around, see if we can find more feathers off the beaten path.
I mean, usually when I hunt things, I go back to the last place I saw one and I try and track from there. Or the last place I had tracks.
And that's what
Precisely.
we do.
Would knowing the wind direction be helpful to guess which way the goose might fly?
At the very least, it could be helpful to determine how the feathers fall.
Well, I'm a bit of a weather watcher. Could I offer to help there?
Go ahead and give me a weather watcher roll.
Okay. And that's just a straight number of dice.
Yeah,
Yes.
number of
Nothing
dice.
added.
The number of dice equal to whatever your skill level is in weather watcher.
Okay. So that is 2 successes.
There's a slight breeze going on right now. The wind hasn't been too incredibly violent or torrent today. Were the wind a little bit stronger, it may influence where the geese or where the goose would fly to have an easier time. But with the altitude that it was at and the wind that's blowing through right now, doesn't look like it would put up much resistance to go any direction.
Okay, so I will share that information with the group so we know that that wind is not a factor in which way the goose might. Ah, but mice have a good sense of smell, so if we're tracking goose poo, would we be able to smell it better if the wind was coming from a certain direction?
If the wind were stronger, yes.
But no, okay.
Yep. Like, unfortunately, the wind is not in your favor today, as it's decided to take pretty much the day off.
If there is no wind, could I use my deep ears and see if maybe I can hear the wing beats or the noise, some honking, anything from
Ooh.
far off? See if those parabolic antenna could be put to some use.
You do, yeah, you can go ahead and roll deep ears.
I don't know what that does. I know I have the trait at level 2. I just don't know what I'm supposed to roll for it. I think it just modifies something else I'm supposed to roll, right?
Yeah, it would be described under the deep ears skill.
And a level 2 trait will add an additional die to the overall roll.
So let's go ahead and make this let's make it a nature roll. Seeing
Okay,
as how
sure.
it is, going off a natural asset that you have, giant satellite ears.
It's funny because I have the same feature.
Do it too! Yay! Ear buddy!
If you do it too, I will allow you to assist to give Rupert another 1 to roll.
Add more
Yep.
satellites to the system.
Yep.
Look, it
Believe
made
me,
sense at the time to have like not big ears, just sensitive
Mhm.
ears. To pay attention to nature and stuff. So
believe me, if you want Roged, I rolled 8 out of 8.
God damn.
Oh,
Nice.
So
what are your special ears here?
as everybody's talking
Right?
about the wind
Everything.
and goose shit and doubling back or anything, Rupert, you step off to the side to like distance yourself a little bit, just to like focus. And as listen with your special ears, and almost just like in a meditative state, you tune everybody out, as the only thing that you can hear off in the distance to the east is you hear the flowing of a small stream of water, and then two two honks going off in that direction.
Guys. Everyone,
Yes? What is it?
there's water that way. I heard honking.
You heard honking.
Honking and water. There's a stream.
I had to give you the exact location because goddamn 8 out of 8 successes.
Right.
Look, my dice were just, this is a set that Zorro got me the last time she came down, and they have just been gracing me with the love. Like, I
Wait,
can
which
only
ones?
say thank you. The
don't
Kraken
know my
dice one
dice.
that you brought me, the pinkish ones.
I was gonna say
The-
the
yeah, I know.
Kraken dice. That narrows it down.
I know. But
Yeah.
the pinkish ones that you brought down the last time.
Oh, nice.
I will
Yes,
say
the
for
cute
all
ones.
of my, like all of the Kids on Brooms games that we've been playing and any of like the straight D6 systems, I just use the Kraken die that I got because I've got like 12 of them.
Hmm.
Sounds like we have a direction to go, and we should go with haste. Fantastic job, Rupert.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Thanks, sir.
We will immediately start heading in the direction that
We are-
Rupert pointed out.
We are following the boss.
Following the leader.
We ride.
Rupert takes a, what's it called? I guess you could say a small handful of almonds from that bag that he asked for on the very beginning of this journey and stuffs it in his cheeks.
Okay. So as you all begin to rush down the western path, I think in this case Rupert would be in the lead, as Rupert has pretty much has like a an auditory
Sonar
lock
lock on
on
this thing.
yeah, as to where it's at.
Sure. Okay. Yeah.
Though I will say, because of the 8 out of 8 successes, I'm not going to make you roll for scout or anything like that, because you can lead them right to, I'll give you a choice here.
Okay.
You can lead them directly to the Goose, or if you want to play more of a strategic position, you can lead them the quickest way to this stream of water.
Is there a difference? Like, is it two different locations from what I'm hearing in my ears?
Yeah, pretty much. It's not two different locations. You can tell the Goose is next to the next to this this stream of water at the moment, but it seems like the stream of water runs a bit further from where the Goose is at. So if you wanted to travel upstream towards it, you could, or you can lead them on a different route that will lead you directly to where the Goose is at.
Understood. I think Rupert, being more of the shy type and not necessarily super strategically minded, would probably whisper to the captain and be, "Captain, should we approach directly, or should we go around a little? We're getting close."
Perhaps we should go around a little, see if we can get eyes on them before directly approaching them.
Understood, sir. Water's that way.
And as Rupert points off in that direction, he begins to cut through the forest, almost just not even thinking about what the possible dangers of cutting through the forest would entail, as he is just locked right on to where the water is at. And within a few minutes, you cross through a small collection of trees and bushes. You come out the other side to a brief opening in the trees, as there is what larger folk may consider, a body of water that is possibly able to swim across, but for you mice, it might as well be a raging rapid. As if you were to fall in this water, you would easily be carried away.
All right, so now that we're at the water, do we go upstream or downstream to reach the Goose?
It's that way. And he'll point in the direction where the honking was heard.
I think we should proceed in that direction, but try to keep to the bushes, the shadows, and out of direct sight. We want to see what we're dealing with before we let ourselves be known.
Okay. As you say, sir. I follow.
So I would like to attempt to lead the group here in that direction in such a way that we hopefully won't be spotted by our prey.
And how would you like to go about that?
I think I would like to rely heavily on our mouse guard training here. Sticking in formation, sticking to the tactics that we were taught, and perhaps using my mouse guard wise in order to do it.
Given your position and your time in the guard, I'll allow it.
Or instructor, if that would fit better. If
I would think
guiding
mouse
the rest
guard.
of the group.
I think mouse guard wise would work better in this case, because even though you would be instructing the group, you still need to worry about yourself as well.
True.
Does anyone else have mouse guard wise?
No. Sadly.
No.
All right, so this is gonna be a lonely roll, Robin.
I have was it nature wise? But I don't know if that will help at all.
Would I be able to apply my calm trait to this roll to get an additional die?
What does the calm trait entail?
Calm mice are difficult to anger and are adept at shrugging off any emotion that does not manage to burden their heart. So it basically allows me to maybe not panic in a situation where another mouse might be panicking, to not let the gravity of the situation weigh down my actions within a moment.
Yeah, I think in this situation, calm could be applied as well, seeing as how, like, again, your time in service in the mouse guard, while, you know, some patrol mice or whatever may be a little nervous in the situation, to Robin, this is another day that ends in Y. This is just another day at the office.
That is about as good as I can do here. That is going to be 3 successes.
Okay. So you begin to lead the group up the river, making sure to keep at least a safe distance from the water's edge, not really wanting anybody to slip in here. And as you go across and over small collections of rocks and what look to be emptied crab shells, you continue on your path. And then you get to about maybe a good 20 feet away as you and the other mice take refuge behind this large collection of rocks, just big enough to hide you. as you can hear on the other side the sounds of a large goose kind of like digging at its feathers. And the very joyful humming of another individual nearby. Though, as well as this trip upstream has taken, Robin, you have your reservations of just openly peeking out and trying to catch an eye of what's going on. You feel, given the situation, given the terrain layout, while surprise is still in your favor, you know, once the battle or once the conflict here enters into even ground, the Goose may still have an upper hand given the location as to where they've chosen for the little base camp.
I will quietly relay those reservations to the rest of the group.
Could I do something with kind of looking around the area and using my hunter ability to try and pick out like the best place to surprise and use the terrain to our advantage?
Sure, go ahead and give me a hunter roll.
One success and one failure.
Do you look around, making a mental note of like your surroundings? You're kind of taken aback as whoever this enemy mouse is seems to know mouse guard tactics, as it has specifically set up a little base camp in an area to where mostly any situation that would come upon it would leave them in the advantage.
I think this guy is using our own tactics against us. It looks like they've set up for however we normally operate. Find
That
here
would
not help us at all.
certainly explain why I feel so uneasy about this whole situation.
Do you think there's any way that we could lure that mouse away from the goose so we wouldn't have to fight them both at once? Or something like that?
He's gonna raise his sling.
Can I keep an eye out and see if there's anything else around? Whether it's creatures or traps, maybe? Since we only see like just the two of them? See if there's anything else, maybe?
Yeah, what skills do you have?
Good question. Let's see here. Well, aside from like nature sense, let's see here. Well, I have my Pathfinder. I have Survivalist.
You know, Survivalist may work.
Survivalist?
I can
Okay.
support that
Okay.
because I have Survivalist as well.
Okay. So go ahead and go ahead and add a 1 from Priscilla's assistance.
Okay. Oh god, I forgot. It's 4, 5, 6.
4, 5, 6 are successes. do look, as like your eyes begin to dart around the area, you know there should be more creatures here. It's an open stream with, as what you can see, live fish. You did see some crab shells back while you were traveling upstream, but there's nothing here. As you're doing that, your nose catches the scent. This mouse is definitely using mouse guard tactics, as it's developed a small scent border around the camp to repel other creatures.
See, my nose kind of twitching as it sticks up in the air, catching something. Huh. You remember what I did with the spider? To kind of keep it away, it seems like this one has used a similar tactic, but much broader scale. Not insects, but other animals to keep away. Almost like they want this to be their private little area, perhaps? So the good news is I don't think we'll be expecting any other creatures. Not entirely sure if what the bad news is there, but I don't think if we did anything we'd be disturbed by anything else in the meantime.
Well, I think the bad news there is one stray gust of wind and our prey will catch our scent.
Indeed. Could easily cover ourselves with the trees or whatever to help mask it a little bit, but
Mud.
it'll only get us so far.
But
What
yes,
if we covered ourselves with something so we didn't smell like mice?
mud and
Like
dust?
Rupert says.
But I don't smell.
Mud and dust. Mask sense.
That's what I was saying before. Rub ourselves on the trees and the mud and whatnot. At least
We're
hide
near
us
what?
for a time.
We're near water. Easy to make mud. Mud and dust works.
Mud also makes noise too, if you're not careful enough at least.
Very true.
Perhaps we should retreat a little bit, and while making an effort to hide our scents, we can decide whether we want to simply observe for the time being, or if we think it would be best to make a move on this little mouse now.
I know Priscilla mentioned a diversion. I have, and he points again at his sling.
Well, we should be careful because we don't know how long they're gonna linger there, so we may lose our chance.
Which is perhaps why we need to make this decision sooner rather than later.
That's what I was thinking.
We can observe and track if they begin to move again, and wait for a more advantageous position. That is option 1. Or option 2, we can move on the target immediately. And although they have the advantage, we can attempt to apprehend and retrieve the goods now. As a group, I think we should make the decision together. Not a vote, per se, but talk it out from a position where they won't discover us.
We would have an element of surprise to a certain point. Don't think they expected us to find them so quickly, at least.
Well, our presence might surprise them, but it looks like they've set up for any of the normal ambush surprise tactics we could use. we would normally use.
I have an idea.
Yes.
Yes, Rupert.
He's gonna pull this little hollowed out stick that he had, and he says, maybe one of us could approach by the water. Not me, I'm not very good at it, but that could be a interesting option, maybe? I don't know.
True. We could take a split approach here. One or two of us approaching from an angle where this mouse would expect us to, while others take a more stealthy approach, as Rupert here just pointed out, and get the jump on them.
They won't expect it from the waters. Mice usually don't swim too well. This might let you breathe.
And the water would hide your scent as well.
Indeed.
Given
Very good thinking.
given what you've seen from the water itself, if the water were calmer, you definitely could probably do something like that.
Too strong.
But the water, the speed the water is moving is almost a death sentence for any of you that go into it.
Yeah, if the water's too strong, never mind.
Not to mention the weather and whatnot. It would, if you don't drown, you're gonna freeze.
Ooh, I forgot it's winter. It's freaking cold. No, never mind. No, that's ridiculous. No way. Too cold, too strong. Never mind. Sorry. Brain.
It was a good thought.
Oh, if we're thinking of different ways to come in like Rupert was, could we make a parachute out of this piece of silk and one of us get up high and drop down?
I've had enough of trees for a lifetime.
That sounds like fun.
Would that help?
Actually not a bad idea. If the parachute was large enough, and you dropped directly onto the Goose, the silk and the ropes of the parachute could tangle it up enough where it wouldn't be able to just immediately fly away.
While we're thinking, I'll start making something like that. Do I need a roll, Rojan, to do that?
Yes. You're going.
Okay.
You're going to need a roll, and it's going to take some time to do something like this.
Okay, how long is...
What gear do you have on you?
Okay, I have a weaver skill, and I have a sewing pouch on a crossbody cord that would have basic sewing supplies, and then I have the large square of silk. And it seems to me that Talon had rope.
Yep. Correct, I do.
And I don't think we took along that net that we found. So, but that we have rope, I have weaving, I have a sewing kit, and I have a weaving skill.
Okay, it's most definitely something you can attempt. You have the weaver skill, you said.
Mm-hmm.
So this is going to go straight off your weaver skill.
Okay.
And since you have the tools for it, you can go ahead and add 1 to the roll.
Okay. Alrighty, let's see what we get. 2 successes.
Okay. Out of how many dice?
Out of 5.
Out of 5, okay. So you begin work on your dice here, or your dice, your
Parachute.
your parachute. Give me 1 second. as you begin to work where you're at, those of you who are standing by waiting for the parachute to be finished, you notice that the goose seems to hear something. And it pops its head up and it looks around and it slowly begins to walk towards like the collection of rocks that you guys are hidden behind.
Can I,
Okay. I'm back,
using
sorry.
my Pathfinder roll, or nature-wise maybe, make a sound of perhaps, or oh no, sorry, my insectus one. To make it sound like there is perhaps like a centipede or something potentially dangerous around here that just kind of made its little habitat. Like some sort of like hissing sound, not like a snake, but like what bugs make.
Sure. It's going to be a high DC because you're pretty much trying to mimic the sound of a dangerous insect to the goose, but you can try.
Well, I got 4 dice, so let's see what we got to work with. I mean, I'll take that. That's a 3 out of 4.
Okay. And what sound were you trying to mimic?
Let's see. What is a dangerous one? I keep thinking like cockroaches. Cockroaches hiss, but I'm also trying to remember like what other insects hiss. You know what? It's the only thing I can think of. The hissing cockroach.
Okay. So you begin to make just the sound of trying your best to mimic the hissing noises of a hissing cockroach. And the goose kind of like lowers itself a bit and outstretches its wings as it opens its mouth and makes like an agitated hiss. The hiss sort of catches the other mouse's attention. Kind of pokes his head up. He's like, "The hell's wrong with you?" But is something behind there? There's always something behind there. You see him reach over and he grabs something as he now has a crossbow in his hands as he begins to walk towards the rocks. You could see that the rapier and the dagger that he was initially carrying when you first met him are on his hip, and he's got a single bolt loaded in this crossbow.
It's now or never, guys.
Do we have line of sight on him? Like, can we see him approaching with a crossbow?
Only if you pop your head out. As he's like, "If anyone is back there, giving you one chance and one chance only to make yourselves known. Otherwise, things are going to get very, very bloody."
So Robin is gonna lean over to Fiora, and he's just gonna be like, "Find a way to take advantage of this situation," and then he's gonna stand up, using his staff as like a walking stick. He's gonna stand up and show himself, and begin to walk out from behind the rocks.
And as soon as you like make yourself seen, that you see that crossbow just trained right on you.
Now,
Privately.
there's no need to get violent.
Oh, I disagree. Why are you creeping up on me, old man? I left you a long, long time ago.
You sure did, but your feathered friend there left very easy to follow trail of feathers along the path.
Huh.
What time of day is it?
It's about midday.
Midday?
He's like,
Okay.
that was actually me trying to throw you off the trail.
Well, it almost worked.
Where's the
But when
rest of you?
Oh, I left them behind on the trail. I wasn't going to send a bunch of tender paws out into the wilds like this.
He kind of shakes his head. Look, don't try the, I'm looking out for the crew and everything like that. It's winter. We both know that we don't send tender paw out into the snows.
But they aren't literally tender paws, but to someone of my age, they may as well be.
I see. So you won't mind if I check?
Check.
While this is happening, I forgot my character's name. Fiora is kind of very quietly whispering, taking out the compass, and she's gonna say, of course, stage whispering this. She's gonna say, I'm going to use the reflection of the sun to bounce off the glass of the compass here and try to blind him. It'll be just a moment before they recover, but if someone could perhaps shoot them, are you willing to do it with your, I almost said, slingshot, Rupert, and then we attack? I
Slingshot
think we may
or
only have one shot. I can't really think of anything else at the moment, but we better be quick.
Sure. Yeah, I can do the I can do the slingshot, or I can do the blowgun. Up to you.
Either way, we just need to hit him to knock him off guard and get the sort of momentary element of surprise here. We have one shot to do this.
I can try that.
All right. If everyone ready?
We go.
And yeah. So as Robin is keeping his attention, I'm gonna just angle the compass to catch the light, and then aim the beam, have it reflect into this mouse's eyes.
Okay, I will say this, that doing this is going to initiate combat.
Obviously, yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and if this is what you're going to want to do, then we're going to have to roll up dispositions and stuff like that. And we can go through all of that if you wish to start combat off here.
I mean, unless anyone else has a better idea, that is Fiora's suggestion.
He said he wanted to check. Do we just wait till he gets a bit closer?
Yeah, but he may see my hand stick out at this point while he's focused on Robin. He won't see my hand. Was why I mentioned it.
Up to you. I'll follow.
So, old man, can I check? Or are you afraid I'm going to see your companions?
By all means, feel free. But do tell me, I have been following the right mouse, haven't I? You are the robber? The thief?
Survivalist.
I wasn't aware that survivalists need gifts that are meant for the children of the city.
When you have nobody else to back you up, you take what you can find.
Surely food and camping supplies are more valuable to you than toys and knickknacks.
If you only knew how these bags worked.
Perhaps you could enlighten me.
So he kind of motions for you to step further away from the rocks.
And Robin will kind of sidestep a bit.
Fiora, do you still want to blind him?
I'm just looking at everyone for the confirmation real quick before I do it.
Priscilla's nodding. How close is Priscilla to having this parachute contraption done?
It's gonna take more time than you've got.
Okay. Is it what state is it in?
You've just started crafting on it.
So I couldn't throw it or anything at this point. Like I couldn't do anything. It's just basically a piece of silk still.
It's still just a piece of silk. You've just started working on it with the small tools and everything that you've got. You've just now started working on it.
Okay.
Squeaker's probably just very quietly draws the axis and just looks at you like, ready to go.
All right.
Yup.
Now I'll do my thing.
Okay. What skills do you have again?
Survivalist, nature-wise, Pathfinder. Those would probably be the ones that would be relevant to this.
Huh. I think in this case, it's going to be... It's going to be nature.
Okay. Okay. Oh, dear Lord. Okay. Oh, that is spicy. That is 5 out of 5.
Okay. Give me a sec here.
Fives I rolled.
Only you can roll those for stats for the next character.
I know, right?
Right?
Can I keep these?
Same.
Okay. So you quickly just like catch the sunlight directly and just beam it into his eyes. And he lets out like an agitated gasp as he agitated hiss as he covers his eyes and just blind fires the crossbow as it flies, like just zips right by your hand. Fiora.
This is fine.
And as like it flies by, you hear like a little like auditory hiss as it slams into like a small like collection of pebbles as it begins to let off like a very acrid smoke. But as that crossbow goes off, he throws it away because it's now useless, and he draws his weapons and just staring down Robin. And before we
I would assume. Oh, sorry.
go ahead.
I was just saying, since the plan was that she says as soon as she blinds
I
him,
was
everyone
gonna
else would
fire,
like
but
get out and attack.
You can't surprise attack though. The way that it kicks off is like any conflict or anything has to be established.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? I'm okay because then at least he doesn't have a weapon immediately on him to shoot us. So I'm actually okay with this.
I'll take it.
So
I'm okay with it.
Before we do this, we are going to go ahead and take a quick break so we can get up fresh in our drinks and everything and prepare for combat.
That works.
And also a dice giveaway. So stick with us, everybody. We will be back in about 5 minutes.
Downhill from there.
And we are back.
Oh, hello.
Hello.
Hello, hello.
So, before we get into combat here, I think we got some dice to give away, Fox.
Yes.
We sure
Ooh.
do.
How exciting.
So I will go over the rules again real quick, and as soon as I'm finished going over the rules, I will close it and draw a name. So heard it a million times already, but we'll keep doing it. Rule 1 is that you cannot enter these giveaways on someone else's behalf in order to give everyone equal chance of getting into them. Rule 2 is that you must be present when the drawing happens in order to win, and it's about to. And if your name is drawn, you do have to tell us what it is that you won. Simply saying dice or anything of that sort is acceptable. And then you also must be a member of our Discord so that we can verify you are who you say you are, and also so I can contact you to get your shipping address and all that when it's time to ship them out. And then finally, although this one is exempt from this rule, typically you cannot win more than once within a week, and you cannot win more than twice total. So I will go ahead and close that up.
We need a drum roll, Rojan.
No, we don't.
It'd probably be
Drum rolls in
DMCA.
Sirenscape.
Not easily accessible.
Yeah.
Siva,
Oh, I won dice.
Yay!
you sure
Yay.
did.
This is definitely my lucky day.
Congrats.
Congratulations, Siva.
Yes.
Oh,
That's
and those
exciting.
are so pretty. Thank you.
Put your name on my little spreadsheet here. And you know what? Because it's the last episode of Mice and Merriment, let's go ahead and open up another one. I don't know how much longer this session's going to go on. It might be about to end, or it could go on for another hour and a half. Who knows? But this next one will be open until the end of the stream. So this is the set that we're about to give away.
Ooh.
Ooh, I want to see. I want to see. Oh my goodness.
That's nice.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah.
Why is my internet taking forever? Oh shit.
Because it wants to rob you from having dice.
So
Oh, wow.
that raffle is now open. You just got to type !December, and you know what? Let's go ahead and say that this one's also exempt from that limited wins rule, so anybody can get in on it.
Yeah, everybody's gonna go on top of that for sure.
Siva wins back to back.
Right.
She might.
Well, Siva will give somebody else a chance.
There's still plenty more dice giveaways to go. If you want to get in on this, go for it.
Yeah, go for it.
I mean, we've got what is it? Withered Waste in V6 on Saturday.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
And I think next week we're on
We're on
holiday
break. We're on break.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I think I have almost double the amount of dice than what we have shows left in the month. So there's going to be double giveaways happening, and the ones that are exempt from the limited win rules, get in on them. Everybody.
Yes.
Okay, so here is how combat is going to work. Because there is more than 3 people in this game, team sizes are limited to 3 mice each. But because there are 6 of you, that means you can have a 3-and-3 split. The way we can do this, because there are multiple opponents to fight, is team 1 will be fighting the Goose. Team 2 will take on the Mouse Bandit. Before we get into combat or anything like that, team can discuss who should go where.
Oh god, I didn't think I'd get this far.
Well, given that I was kind of face to face with the Mouse Bandit, I think I'll go on the team that's up against him.
And my camera froze. Of course it did, because why wouldn't it?
Of course.
You're just deep in thought. It's okay.
No, I'm not. Okay, so Robin's going team 2.
I probably should do the
feel like-
thing and go fight a goose.
I think I messed things up here. I definitely messed things up. I made everybody pause.
You know what? I'll
Three,
make it
three,
easy.
so I
I'll
Okay,
go
Exactly
first.
right.
sorry, I heard
Yeah.
nothing any of you said because I turned my camera
That's
off
fine.
and turned it back on,
Oh,
and it paused
right.
everything. So give me a second. I'm putting us to the AFK screen here.
Yeah, all good.
For Southern Frontier,
Otherwise, Steve is
apparently.
going to have to DM.
And I am going to do the thing I did last time, because the only way that I figured out that I can fix it is by shutting down all of Razor.
Yeah, it just gives us more time to discuss what we want to do before we have to officially tell you.
Oh,
I don't know, I feel like if Talon's going one group, that Squeakers should go the other way, because I think the two of us are the primary fighters.
Yeah.
yeah, that's probably a
So
good
I
idea.
think we should split the two of us up. So if you're going to go Goose, I'll go
You're going to go
Mouse.
Bandito Mouso?
Yeah. I think that's a wise decision.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea.
Okay. Now I know that Tilt has ranged attacks and I don't. Does that make a difference?
Nah, you can.
With something like the goose.
Nah,
There
I
you
don't
go.
think it makes a difference.
Nope.
I think, to be completely honest, I think for the most part, I think he's the only ranged one.
Okay, so the people who have locked in, Talon, you're going against the Goose.
Goose.
And then Squeakers is going team 2.
It's the bandit. Yep.
Okay. And then
I'm
We've
going
got-
with Goose.
okay, so Fiora is going against the Goose, and so Rupert and Priscilla. Who's going team 1? Who's going team 2? And I froze
Okay.
again. What the? I hate this thing.
It hates you too.
Apparently.
Clearly. Well, Priscilla, if you want me to go against the goose, I can go against the goose.
Which do you where do you think you would be best deployed? And I'll
Honestly, probably the goose.
okay, all right.
Nobody
I
wants
will,
to get close to that thing if they can avoid it.
okay. I will stay and fight Robber Mouse.
Can irritate its wings and clip its wings.
Okay,
or something
now
too.
I'm back. Cool. Okay, so who's going team 1?
Team
Which
1
one's
is Goose,
one?
right?
Yes, team 1 is Goose.
I'm on one.
Oh. One.
One.
Okay, so how combat works here, for those of you at home who are watching and those of you here, every team is going to roll a disposition. Now, the way the disposition is decided is one of you on that team will roll, since you guys are entering into combat here, you will test your fighter skill, and then add your nature or health. You can choose whenever you want, whatever is the highest, to that roll. You don't add the dice to that roll, you just add that to the number of successes that you got, and that will be your team's total disposition. Once we have the dispositions for both the enemies and for the mice, we enter into a combat phase. The way that combat works is everybody in this team is going to choose one action. This action can be either attack, defend, feint, or maneuver. Attack is pretty straightforward. You're aiming to attack your enemy. Defend is you're defending against any incoming attacks. Feint are little tricky maneuvers that you can perform in combat, and maneuver doesn't necessarily mean you're running away or anything like that. It can be something like a trip, or you're trying to pretty much outmaneuver your opponent's blade to throw them off their game, or it could be just to put some distance between you and the opponent. On page 109 of the book, there is a little chart that will tell you what kind of roll you're going to make between your what role you're going to make when it's your turn in the action, and what it's going to be faced against. So just say, for an example, both you and the monster decide on your turn to attack. Both of you are going to make independent rolls, meaning you are only going to make an attack roll on your end using your skills and everything. They're going to on their end. Then you take the number of successes that you got and subtract that from the total disposition that you have, or that the enemy has. If it is a versus roll, both of you roll your abilities. Highest or the roll with the most successes wins. If it is a thing, say, versus defense, it stops or reduces the effectiveness of attack or maneuver reactions if defended or is greater than the versus action. It adds the margin of success to your disposition, meaning you can increase your disposition by defending.
Interesting.
And then the little asterisks are the special feint. The feints as special attack. If played against defense, the defender may not test, meaning you get around any sort of defense that they try to throw up. You make an independent test. The successes will reduce the disposition. If played against the attack, the feinting player may not attack or defend. So there are special rules to the feint mechanic. High risk, high reward. Now, the way that we will go about this is every turn before any rolls are made or anything, each of you are going to choose what action you are going to make. You're going to write it down you're going to write it down somewhere. And when I call on you, you are going to have your moment in the spotlight versus the monster, or not the monster, but the enemy, because the enemy as well is going to be making an action against you. Which means I need another sheet of paper, because this is a very simple game, but in combat it uses so much paper to track everything
especially
down.
on the
Yeah,
DM side.
I'm like,
Because I have to write down
looking at...
I have to write down actions versus the group, and actions. I like choose the actions versus that, and I have to keep track of the disposition.
A little easier to keep track of on our end, but on the DM side of it, it's a lot.
Yep. So for team 1, team 2, designate somebody to keep track of your disposition totals.
So for our team, the team versus the bandit, whichever one of us is going to be determining the disposition, I think should be the person to keep track of it.
Agreed.
Who do we want to determine the disposition? I think we said it was fighting. I have pretty decent fighting.
Yeah, because you're going into the fighting, so you're going to want somebody. I mean, it's better off having somebody go in to rolling disposition if they have the fight skill.
Yeah, I would say you.
I think that'd be me and Talon. I know both have it. Does
Yeah, I've
anyone else
got
do have
a
it?
Oh,
dumb high
that's
fighting
also
skill.
something I forgot to mention. For every mouse that is on the team, you add 1 dice because it's technically they're helping.
Okay, give me 1 second
okay.
here.
So we should determine who has on our respective teams who has the highest fighter skill.
Okay.
That should be the person, I think, rolling for the disposition, because that gives the chance for the highest possible disposition.
I think for team 1, it's going to be Talon. I'm not sure. Does anyone else on team 1 have fighting? The Goose team?
No.
See, what does
I don't
your
have
mouse
fighting.
have?
I'm on team 2, but my mouse
Oh.
does not have fighting.
Okay.
Okay. It's just not fast. So
Now
that
that I
is Talon
actually
for
have
team
enough
1.
dice.
Fox, does your character have fighting?
Yes.
Okay, so it's between you and me. Where you at?
My fighting is at 6.
Okay, you have more than I do. So you can go ahead and roll that.
So that is rolling the fighter skill plus
Plus
an
the
additional die per mouse on the team, and then you add your nature or
To the
health
successes.
to the number of successes.
Correct. I'm back to using my emote because I am sick and tired of this camera not working.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I did see.
Oh, now it's working. Oh, no, it's not.
No,
I
no,
don't
it is.
know. I don't know what the hell is going on with this thing. My only guess is that. Oh, give me a moment here. Razer is deciding to update.
I was going to say, Razer probably has an update or needs to reinstall.
Or both.
Yeah, it's not too shabby. Out of 8 rolls, that's 6 successes, which gives us a total disposition of 10.
Very nice.
Nice.
All right, you know what? I'm going to try it now because everything started up and it now recognizes the camera. Maybe it will be functional now. Fingers crossed. Okay, so how much disposition did you get, team 1 or team 2?
Team 2 got a total disposition of 10.
Nice. And team 1, who's rolling for you all?
I will do the roll for team 1 probably because
Okay.
I'm running at fighting 6.
Okay. So you'll roll 9 dice because, well, you'll roll 8 dice because there are 2 other mice with you.
There we go.
Yeah, so 6, 7, 8.
Nope, I'm frozen again. I wonder.
I love Discord sometimes. That's why I'm in a box right now.
Yeah, gotta love it.
And from the sounds of it, in this instance, it sounds like it's the Razer software, not Discord.
Yep.
Got Razer software. I wonder if should I disable my Razer software?
I'm wondering if hardware acceleration is on again.
Oh,
It
do it.
does like to turn
Give me
itself
a
back on
moment. I'm
sometimes.
going to take us to the AFK screen because I'm going to look at that.
Okay. So while that's happening, just to kind of get some clarity here, just looking, because on 104 is where everything kind of starts.
Yes.
I think Fiora could be good for defending and doing a feint. However, the feint I have in mind it says sneak attack, but it's not sneak attack in the sense of doing damage, but doing something to I'm trying to think. Or no, was it feint? No, maneuver. Sorry, it wasn't feint. Maneuver. Defender maneuver, where maneuver is again not necessarily fighting, but trying to do something to gain the advantage, like she would have things like pollen and spices and stuff like that to either throw off its to like make its eyes water or throw something in its face, knock off its senses, or something like that.
Pocket
Yeah.
sand.
Pocket
Pocket
sand.
sand.
Hell, it could be even something as simple as throwing a snowball at its face to like get it going. Ah!
Okay.
Because defend, let's see here. See, defend also works because this is like blocking their weapon and stuff like that, which could be again like
Yeah, and also depending what weapons you have additional perks on them in a lot of cases.
I was looking at that. It doesn't. The only thing it says about my weapon is that it's versatile, which means I can use it as a spear or an axe.
Okay. Yeah, like for me,
don't-
my sword has useful, so it's 1 dice to any combat action of your choice. Or my shield is plus 2d6 if I'm doing a defend.
Oh, I look at spear or axe. Okay, I see now.
Yeah, because there's extra tricks on top of it.
Yes. Okay, spear. Your attack action counts as a versus against the attack. Only applies
Oh, I
against
better
spears
find
in
that. Do you
war.
know where that? Where is that?
It's on page 117.
Okay, I would scroll forward enough 'cause I need to
118, I
look at
should
my
say.
axes.
Because you have a sword, right? Or you have two
I
swords.
have axes. Axes.
Oh, axes. You have deadly. +1s after a successful attack. Slow -1 die to defend or feint. So you probably use the +1 for
Oh yeah,
attack.
make sure you've got the bonuses for your dice set up or for your weapons.
Yeah, because I'm dual wielding axes right now. Tiny little
Yeah.
axes.
So more than likely, because of how Fioria is, probably have it in spear mode. I can change it at any time. I just have to say it before I do my weapon, whatever. Because it says to say it beforehand, which mode you are using before the action.
Yeah.
So probably be
So,
spear.
so I have a question. I was thinking, since I've got that stupid piece of silk, would it be a defend or a feint or a maneuver if I wanted, or even can I do this if I wanted to try and throw that over the robber mouse so that he gets, it's something he would then have to remove, so he might lose an attack, or it might give us
That
an
would
advantage, or is that something can
That
be
would be a
done, or
maneuver.
so it is a maneuver,
It would be a maneuver, or it would be a feint, depending on what
That-
you're trying to do.
yeah, okay. So it would depend on how things are going as to whether it would be a feint or maneuver that I'm doing
Correct.
then. Yeah.
and it looks like each mouse picks something that they're doing. Okay.
Yep. Everyone picks something they're doing each quote unquote round, and then once you are called, then we will kick it. Like we will do our little contested rolls, or you'll do your roll, I'll do my roll, and then we play out what's going on. I will say this: as you are a group, you all share this disposition. So any pluses or negatives that happen because of successful defense rolls or successful attacks applies to the whole group. Once the disposition hits 0, your team is technically defeated.
Okay.
So with that, you can also decide as to who's going to do what, or who's going to go first, second, third in any order. So it may switch orders every round if you guys want, but I would highly suggest doing that like in the Discord chat, so I don't see it, because I'm not supposed to know what any of you are doing until it's set up here. And then I am going to choose the 3 actions for the goose and for the mouse. Okay, I've got my actions. I also sent you guys the music for what for combat here. It is definitely not mouse guard music. It is definitely not fantasy music, but it is the battle theme that I use for any holiday special anytime you guys go against the Goose. Those of you in chat, if you know where this is from, I love you.
I mean, the song is called Soy Salsa.
That may be a little too loud. Give me a moment to turn it down. Chat, let me know if it's drowning anybody out. Okay. So, we're going round one here. We will start with team one because that seems appropriate. So who is testing their first action here?
You said team one?
Yeah.
Do you guys want me to just go first since Talon's basically gonna run out from behind the rock and lunge at the Goose?
Yeah, because like I was mentioning, I could go middle or last, because
Yeah.
I'm going to be more like support kind of situation, so yeah.
And you can also switch things up if need be, depending how we're
Depends
looking.
on what the Goose does, yeah,
Alright.
because I could either follow up with
Okay.
what you both do, or whatever you tend to do reacts that I could kind of do something to help the third.
So
person. That's
an
why.
attack will be my fighter skill.
Yep, it
Plus-
will be your fight skill.
Plus 1 extra because of the sword.
Yep.
And I think that's all I have.
That's it. Yeah, you don't add
Okay.
nature to it because that's only for disposition.
Yeah.
So the Goose is also attacking this round or against you. So it's going to make its attack roll as well.
Okay.
All right, since it is independent, this means that it goes off at the same time. There is no versus.
Yep.
Meaning this will be just a direct reduction of
Disposition
disposition
for both.
for both. The Goose got 4 successes.
I got 4 as well.
Okay. So, Talon, you're attacking with the giant greatsword that you've got, correct?
Most of the soul sword. Let's go.
Yeah, Mouse of the Soul Sword. This is technically Monster Hunter if you look at it.
At this point,
Yep.
it is.
As you steel yourself and you grit your teeth and you jump over this rock, just raising the two-handed sword above your head as you bring it down. The Goose looking up at you with a hiss as it like lunges its beak towards you. And as you bring the blade down, it catches it like in the top part of the beak, splitting it a little bit as it catches you and throws you against, like just pretty much smacks you against like the other side of the rock as you kind of hit back and kind of just ready yourself for whatever comes next. Over at group 2 against the mouse bandit here, who do we got?
We have me. I'm going to attack.
And so is he.
Cool. And I'm sorry. I'm trying to listen and read through this to make sure I do this rightly. I'm just rolling straight fighter, right?
Yes, straight fighter plus the bonuses that your weapon gives you.
Okay.
And since you are dual wielding, both weapons can take effect.
Okay. So, but I just make one set of rolls, right?
Yes. You just
Okay.
make one roll.
Okay. So I think I'm worried to go for the slow effect, which if I think upon it says -1 dice to defend or feint. How's that work? Is that against me? What does that mean?
That's against you, yes, because it's a slow weapon.
Oh. Oh, okay. And then it says plus deadly is +1 after a successful
After a successful, is it say after a successful attack?
Yeah.
Okay, so you tack on another success after you succeed. So this is pretty much going to be whatever successes you roll plus 2, because you've got the two-handed axes.
So it's going to be 3 successes on the dice, plus 2 is going to be 5, and only 1 failure.
Damn. Okay, and he's going to get 3 successes on you. So your team's disposition is going to be reduced by 3.
Okay.
And pretty much following suit of what just happened, or as to what Talon did, Squeakers leaps over the rock, charging this mouse bandit down. In a style to where the bandit realizes that he doesn't really have a defense against somebody wielding 2 axes at the moment. So as you bring the 2 axes down, you know, giving him a nice cut, he kind of dips a little bit and just jams the tip of his rapier into your shoulder, and like quickly just retracts the blade. You got a decent amount of you got a decent chunk out of him on that one. Going over to the Goose for number 2. Who is the next person in line here for group 1?
I think it's Zoro who's going second.
You want me to go?
Or do you want me to go?
You know what? I'm gonna go and I'm gonna use, I don't know if this would count. It could actually fall in either category, I guess. I don't know if this would fall under maneuver or defend. But I'm doing it in a sort of non-traditional sense of what it's directly said.
Okay, so
I want to.
So in the way that in the way that this works is you choose the action that you're going to take, and then spin what you're going to do around that action.
That's why I'm trying to figure out what. You know what? I guess this is technically, it falls under the realm of defend. This falls under defend. What I want to do is I would like to pull out from my pouch some cinnamon and spread it over in one area. I don't think I would have time to do a whole circle, unless you allow me to, but I was gonna kind of start slowly cutting off and creating a barrier, because the smell of cinnamon is one thing that actually messes with Geese's senses.
Okay, so in that sense,
yeah.
that will be a maneuver. Actually,
a maneuver?
Yeah.
Okay. So I wasn't sure which one it would be.
yeah. In that sense, because you're not necessarily trying to defend directly against an attack. You are like trying to set up a barrier, or you're trying to do something outside of combat that is going to hopefully promote an advantage to your team later on.
Okay. I was also confused because it says like defend as in like blocking an enemy, and I was like, does that count as a block? So
not necessarily in
so I was
this
like,
sense.
oh.
So because the Goose is attacking, this is going to be a versus roll.
Okay. Am I rolling my nature?
Let me see here.
Or one of my wises? One of my wheezes?
It's not. I don't think it's gonna be one of your wheezes.
I forgot I have 3. I'm focusing on nature, and I'm like, I have 3. Why am I focusing on 1?
Okay, so yeah, I think. Oh, I'm gonna drop my dice. That one is now gone forever too. That's the second D6 I've dropped in like the past week.
No.
Well, it's Evie's now.
It's in the ether.
Yep, unfortunately,
just-
I'm gonna have to search for it later. Good thing I have more.
Yippee.
Oh, I wonder if I just have to do what Azarin does. And just
click
tap
off and on.
just tap the screen.
Oh!
I know what it's
Yep.
I know what's fucking doing it.
Is it the autofocus?
It is the auto, you motherfuckers. It is the
They turn
goddamn
back on
autofocus.
Oh no!
We love the autofocus.
Yeah, autofocus is the bane of everything.
Yep, Azrin's best friend too.
So,
And Tobo's actually.
I'm just gonna keep tapping the camera until, you know, it decides to play nice.
Just bad camera smack.
Yeah, Azrin,
Stop it.
that is your issue too. That's what is causing you to constantly freeze and whatnot, is your autofocus. Okay, so
Something's
in
worked on the
this
autofocus.
sense, I'm looking through the book here. I'm looking through here. Big push, flanking argument, blah blah blah.
I think it says a fight uses fighter for attack and feint. Nature is used for defend and maneuver.
There you go. So it's going to be your nature roll.
It's nature. Okay. That's why when I originally said nature, I'm like, is it nature? Is it like something off one of my skills? So okay. Or not skills, but like my traits. That's what I meant to say. Okay, yeah. So my nature. And you said it's a +1 because of my companions.
No.
Helping each other?
That doesn't.
Not this
That
one?
only applies to disposition.
Gotcha,
This is just going to be
okay.
straight nature. Ooh.
Okay. 4 out of 5.
Damn. Okay. So in this sense, let's see. It's either. I'm trying to see what the. Okay, so yeah. So in this sense. You're going to beat it,
Oh, okay.
and because of that, you can either, because of the way that you did it, you could either choose to impede its next action, or you can gain a position, which will add 2 dice to the next action.
Oh, what do we want to do, group? Do we want to give it disadvantage or give us an advantage?
I think give it a disadvantage.
That's kind of what I'm thinking. Oh, here it is. Okay, impede. Here it is. Okay, I was looking for it. Or gain position. Okay, yeah. That's kind of why I wanted to be in the middle to kind of help the next round. So yeah, let's go ahead and let's impede.
Okay, so you run over to go ahead and like begin to start making your little barrier, and you can hear the goose just like barreling down on you, and you decide to say screw it, and you turn and you just throw a handful of cinnamon directly in its face, causing it kind of like to stumble back and like whip its hands, like its wings over its beak, trying to like get this disorienting scent off of it. That's exactly what it is. It's the autofocus. Oh, I'm happy that nothing actually broke and it's just the autofocus.
That is the bright side.
So its next action will have -1 dice because of pocket sand.
Pocket cinnamon.
That's what you wanted. You wanted to impede it,
Cinnamon.
correct?
Yes, impede
Okay.
it. So -1 die.
Okay. Back over to the mouse bandit here. Who's up?
Priscilla.
Priscilla. Okay, Priscilla.
So I am going to try to rush the robber mouse, and I've got the silk wrapped around, and I'm going to basically throw it and try to cover him with silk so that he basically is impeded.
Okay, so you're going to test the maneuver on this.
Yes.
Okay, that is perfect. So let me see here. As he is going for a feint himself. So as it is maneuver versus feint, these are going to be independently tested. Let me see. Fight against defensive tests, feinter, blah blah blah. Do not attack or defend. So I'm trying to see how this technically can work here. Okay, and you're going for an impede, you said.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so go ahead and roll your nature.
Okay.
And he is going to roll his feint here.
Yay! We're helping, Priscilla!
I hope.
And then
All
he
right.
has that disadvantage, right?
Ooh. Okay, so he's gonna make his feint roll here. Man, they are rolling like crap tonight. All right, Priscilla, what'd you get?
I got 3 successes.
Very nice. You only needed 1 for an impede. So next time he's gonna have -1 dice to his roll. Though you see as you're charging, he gets like a little bit cocky as you get closer to him, and he's not really sure what you're doing, running at him with what looks to be a giant blanket. And he kind of like assumes just a very cocky stance as he stands straight forward, with like his arms behind his back with the blade just like right up his spine. And as you pass by and you flick the parachute over him, he does like a quick maneuver, just like cutting you in the leg as you run by. But you're successful enough to get the thing over him as he starts like fighting with it and cursing under his breath. Your disposition is only going to be reduced by 2, though. He only got 2 successes. Back to the disoriented Goose here. Who is up? Is that Rupert?
It is.
Okay, Rupert.
Well, I was hoping to defend.
Okay. That is most definitely something you can do. He is attacking, so this is going to be a versus roll.
Okay.
And the way that the versus roll works is, of course, we both roll our dice. We compare the number of successes that each of us have. And then we slowly just subtract until there is no more to subtract from one side. And it either adds to your disposition or it will lower depending on who wins the competition here.
So we're rolling them one at a time, basically, then.
No, you're rolling all your dice.
Oh, okay. All in one shot?
Yeah.
I need to roll a few more, sorry. It's off of nature for me, right? Okay.
Is it is defend off nature?
Yep.
Yeah.
Base,
Defend
It
and
is,
maneuver
yeah.
are both off nature.
against an attack?
They're both nature.
Yep.
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 They are nature.
So go ahead and
Yep.
let me know how many successes you got.
5 out of 6.
God damn. Okay, I only got.
These dice, I mean, look, Zoro,
I
please
kid
give
you
me more
not.
dice like these.
I kid you not. I got 3
use
out
them
of
against
8.
me.
You got 5 out of 6.
Oh,
So your
yeah.
team is going to get 2 more disposition added to the added to your total.
Who's keeping track for Team A?
Oh, I
You
thought
are.
were.
You are.
Nope.
You are.
Okay, so we were at 9 minus 4 plus 2.
That is 7.
That bit.
I have to find paper. There.
Okay, so just to do a total, like I can keep track on my end too to help you guys out. Team 1, what's your current disposition?
If my math is right, 7.
Okay. Team 2?
5.
Okay. All right, we're coming up to the next round here. Oh wait, no, we have the mousy. That's right. Who is this Robin going against him?
Yep.
Okay, Robin.
It is Robin. And Robin is going to defend.
Okay. He is fainting again. So that is the defender cannot test. So this is straight up success rolls. He does have a -1 die disadvantage from getting blinded. That is going to be only 2 successes. As he throws the parachute off of him, noticing you, and he charges at you. It looks like he's about to thrust with the rapier. So you bring your staff up to defend, as he quickly grabs the hilt of his dagger with his tail, and with a spin just makes a slash right across your midsection with it. And we're gonna go to round 2 here. So I'll give you guys a moment to decide what turn order you all want to go into. Then you guys figure out what you're going to choose in regards to your actions.
So Robin doesn't get to roll then?
No, because Robin was defending and the mouse was fainting. So in those contests,
yeah, okay, so it's
feints
so
break
it's
through.
a defend versus a feint.
Yeah, so it's like a tricky maneuver that they do in order to get through to defense.
I see.
Okay, I've got mine for it. Give me a second. My cat's at the door. Yeah. Meows at me like it's my fault she's outside. Okay. Y'all good, or do you need some time?
We're still taking 2 seconds.
Take all the time you need. Thankfully, mouse guard combat isn't like D&D combat. It doesn't last 12 hours.
No.
True.
We got a couple funny ideas. Don't know if we'll fully go through with
Kitra,
it,
it's funny. That's why she like I opened my door and she meowed at me like it was my fault. Went right to her food.
Oh.
It's like, you're the one who wanted out in the first place. Don't be giving me that sass. But then again, she's a Siamese cat. That's all they are, is sass.
Huh.
Can't spell sass without sass. Cats.
All right. Well, for
We kind of have as far as
All right,
Team
one.
Goose, I will go.
You're gonna go? Okay, Goose
Yep.
is going as well.
And there will be another violent attack on the Goose.
And the Goose is attacking as well.
Good.
All right, the Goose got 4 successes.
I got 5.
Nice.
Ooh. So again, both of you, like after like shaking off the finally shaking off the enough of the cinnamon to like no longer be disoriented. It sees you turning like a corner as you run, well, not turning a corner, but charging again. You run, you cleave right into its leg. And as you do, you just get buffered away once again by one of its wings, sending you kind of like rolling off. Over to the people fighting the mouse bandit at a, who's first?
Siva?
Okay, so I am going to go first, and I am going to try to use my rapier to defend against his action.
Funny enough, he's defending as well. So you can both make independent tests here, which I believe is your maneuver.
Okay, yep.
And because there is no back and forth to be had, you can add the number of successes that you had to your total disposition.
And I had 3.
Nice.
He got 5.
Oh.
Ouch. Well, he's been rolling crap, so.
As like you both like circle one another with your rapiers, and you're just both in a defensive position, not really moving. Just wait for the one of you to make an attack. Back over to Team Goose.
We're switching it up, and Rupert's actually gonna go next.
Rupert.
We're gonna keep it at mid-range, and we're gonna flank this guy, attempting a maneuver.
What a maneuver!
Yeah, we'll try to shoot a rock at this thing's kneecap or something, hinder its movement.
Ow. Okay, and it's just straight up attacking.
Okay.
So this is a versus roll.
Yep. And there's,
what
I have to double check my weapon does weird things for range.
And what are you intending to do here for your for your maneuver? Because you've got impede, gain position, or disarm.
I mean, in this case, it would be disleg. But you know, however you see fit.
You know,
Trip the goose?
fair.
You know.
Give me a second. Okay, so since it's a versus test, I'm gonna roll, you're gonna roll, and basically you're gonna have to get a thing of success of 3 remaining successes against my attack.
Meaning I have to like overshoot you by 3?
You have to overshoot me by 3.
Okay.
So you roll.
You get an extra die.
I do get an extra dice from the weapon, but yeah. See it.
I'll say this now, kids. Multiple dice, or the more dice you have, doesn't mean the more successes you're gonna have.
No.
Not my best.
What'd you get?
Out of 7, I got a 4.
You got a 4. That's enough.
What?
He got 1.
Oh,
He was foreshadowing. He said it. When you have more die. Makes sense.
So the goose like turns and looks over at Rupert as Rupert puts a little bit of distance, knocks an acorn, and it just goes charging at him, and you just one well-placed shot in the leg kind of sends him stumbling. Because this is an animal, it doesn't necessarily have a weapon. What I'm going to say is, if the action it was going to make next is an attack, they cannot make it. As you kind of knock it in the knee, and it goes rolling on the ground. No disposition is lost, but they're technically disarmed. Over to the bandits, who is number 2 here.
That would be Squeakers.
Squeakers!
Squeaker's going to, what do you know, attack.
And he is
That's
fainting.
Ooh. What's the rule
So,
on that? It's a special.
yep.
Fainter.
The fainting player may not attack or defend.
All right.
I think in that sense, that means the fainter can't roll.
Yep.
So you
Yeah.
have straight up open. You have an open target against him. As
And
he gets a
I'm
little
more-
cocky and he kind of like beckons you on, just opens his arms up, is just waiting for you to make the wrong move.
then he forgot that I have 2 axes instead of 1. So it's gonna actually, I'm going to do 6 successes on that.
Jesus.
I rolled really good.
So, calling his bluff, you just bum rush him. And as like you go to swing, your weapons collide from like his feint. You just bring in this like skull-splitting headbutt, just like crumpling him down to his knees, like almost like you what you would see in Mass Effect with like the Krogan when they hit somebody. There's
Nice.
just this sickening crack as blood just goes spurting from his nose. He's got his bell rung a little bit here.
Nice.
Back over to the Goose. Fiora, it is your turn.
This kind of changed a few things, so we're like, wait, what can we do now?
Not sure how this works. One second.
Not sure how this works.
Yeah, just remember whatever you chose is what you're locked into.
True.
Yeah.
What had we chosen?
Well, what I originally chose.
That's what you're locked
Technically,
into.
That's what
kind
you're
of-
locked into.
You're locked
We're still locked into that, basically. We have
We
to.
are.
You have to
Okay.
go with what you chose at the beginning of the round, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Even if
so,
it's defend,
yeah.
that's okay.
It's defend, yeah.
Okay.
So,
The plus side
I-
here was his next action was an attack. So you get to make an unopposed defense roll.
Which adds it
much
all
for
to our
HP.
disposition.
Yep.
Yes.
yeah.
You roll well.
And you guys are at 3. You need it.
I'm sitting here looking at the number going, we need help.
See,
This thing hurts, but it's
I love Mouse Guard's combat system.
It's real good.
It's,
Yeah.
it's quick, it's dirty, and it's actually having to make everyone think as a team.
Yep.
I rolled nothing but 5s.
How many successes?
Five fives.
5 5s. Okay, that knocks you guys up to 8. Nice.
Jesus Christ.
You did like
One
what
off
I
of-
did. I rolled all 4s. Like it works.
I love my little guys.
Oh, those ones are so pretty.
Over to the mouse who just got his bell rung. Who is next?
That would be Robin.
Okay, Robin.
I mentioned it in our group chat at the top of the round, so it's what I have to do. I am going to faint.
And he is fainting as well. So these are independent rolls.
I believe it's a versus test if we're both,
Yeah,
if we're
you
both
are
fainting.
Yeah.
you are right. You are right.
It is.
It's
I
oppose, yeah.
It is an
versus.
opposed roll. And then the winner of that will reduce the opponent's disposition.
Playing like this is actually a lot of fun.
Once you sort of catch on.
Yeah, once you catch on to what you're doing, this is a lot of fun. You just quick discussion with the group and like, all right, this is what we're doing.
What'd you get?
This is payback for last round. I got 6 successes.
You got 6 successes. He got 5. So it reduces his disposition by 1.
Nice.
So how are you fainting here?
I think I'm going to appear as though I'm taking the same action as I did previously when he got that feint off on me when I attempted to defend. But right at the last moment, anticipating that he might try and do the same thing again, I whip that staff around right at head height, trying to whack him upside the head.
And you read his movements perfectly. As you come in, you've got the staff in the same position. even though he's a little bloody now, he gets that cocky glint in his eye as he again fakes like he's gonna thrust and then whips the tail at you with the knife. But you catch him by surprise as you knock, catching the blade with your staff, you knock his tail up a little bit and just full on catch that acorn dead in his face, and it causes him to roll back as there's just another crack. As he gets up, his face is all bloody and like dirt covered, and he's breathing a little heavily, and he's just looking a bit more frustrated now than he did. It looks like that ego that he had about taking you all on has now maybe been corrected. As like he steps out of like a cocky stance, and he gets into like a traditional duelist stance.
I respect your elders here. Elder will whack you with a stick.
Boss phase 2 has begun.
So
Lyrics are now in Latin.
the lyrics are in Latin.
Now in Latin.
but it's all at high pitch. It's all at high pitched Latin because it's all mice singing it.
Yep.
Oaks Choir.
Sort of like at the Chipmunks.
Alvin and the
were
Chipmunks.
singing
Yep.
in Latin.
I knew Latin, but you know.
Okay. Teams, go ahead and choose your order and what you're doing.
I actually need to check something.
Okay, where do you want me then?
Yeah, I had a feeling the music might be a little loud, so I made sure to put it on a separate channel so it doesn't drown everyone out. It's like so you guys aren't fighting for control over your voices and the music playing. You guys need more time, or you know what you're doing?
Just a little bit.
Okay.
For kind of.
Not a problem.
Thankfully, we can think of it fairly quickly, but we just need like
Hey,
two.
take your
Yeah,
time.
you know what? Let's do that.
We have also the struggle of we're jumping over each other in chat, like the two teams are talking at the same
Okay.
time, so we're all having to scroll through it all.
It's two separate conversations, and we're doing an amazing job of keeping it straight.
We are.
Actually,
I'm
yeah, we're
impressed.
going over, but we're good.
I can't imagine what chaos it is at a table in like a live play session of this.
I want to
Probably
bet if
all
you had six
huddling,
people,
like-
you basically just play musical chairs temporarily, and it's like 3 one
Yeah.
side, 3 the other. It's like, okay, team A, team B,
And then huddle.
discuss, go, discuss, go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I imagine that would make it easier. We all kind of reposition ourselves so the 3 and 3 are together, and then be like, okay, okay.
That's how I
Okay,
picture
I
it.
think. Okay, Team Goose has decided
Goose is
what
good?
we're gonna do.
Team
Uh,
Mike's
Goose.
good.
Team Bandit, you guys good?
Team Bandit's good.
Alrighty.
We were fast this time.
Goose Patrol, you guys are up. Who's going first?
Talon is not giving up the fight and is going back in hard.
Goose is once again attacking.
Goose understands what's happening here.
Goose understands combat.
When Goose is peak strategic mind.
Goose doesn't want to defend, it wants to hunt.
I mean, geese are assholes who will attack over literally anything, so...
Seriously.
How many
He looked
successes
at
did
me
you get?
funny!
5 off of here.
5?
Yep.
Nice.
Nice.
And he got 5 as well. So, as The goose like gets up, shakes itself off from getting kneecapped. He once again sees off in the corner just this mouse with this ridiculously like large greatsword positioned himself. And so again, he steps up, lowers himself down, and charges, and the both of you go running and like one of those like climactic crossblade clashes, and you cross, and you can feel just like the strength in its wing as it bites into you as you slash across it. And there's like a dramatic pause as both of you are there, and then the goose falls as you drop its disposition to 0. And as that happens, there is just this echoing honk that covers the valley as it just poofs in a just like a torrent of feathers.
I'm just thinking of the anime moment where it's like,
Pretty much.
Yep. I love it.
Dramatic.
Now, I will say this now. I will say this now. Team 1, you can now jump into the fight against the bandit mouse the next turn.
I mean, we're right there. Yeah.
So you got
Okay.
like the two of you, you two, since you've already selected your actions against the goose, you unfortunately are not going to go unless you chose defense.
What's funny, we both chose defense.
Okay, so in that case,
We have the proof in the chat.
in that
We have it
case,
written in chat.
both of you make defense rolls.
That's so funny. We're both defending.
So 4 out of 6 for me.
A 4, okay.
3 out of 5 for me.
All right, that brings you guys to 15.
Does it?
I don't believe it can go above the starting number.
Yeah.
Oh, can it not?
That brings us back up to 9.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, just brings us cap. Okay.
I'll take it though.
Yeah.
No, we'll take it.
All right, so this is going to be a team bandit rapid fire here. So who's going first?
Robin will go first.
Okay. Robin, what are you doing?
He's gonna follow up that whack across the head with defense.
As he's defending as well. So the two of you may roll. Successes will add to your disposition.
That is 3 successes from me.
Brings you guys to 6.
Brings us to 9.
Brings you to 9.
Because we recovered
right.
3 last round.
So it brings you to 8 because you got your guys' disposition to start off was 8, correct?
No, we were
It
10.
was 10.
Oh, you're 10? Oh no, you're right. I don't know how to write numbers here. All right, you guys are at 10.
We're what, 9 out of 10?
Yep, 9 out of 10.
That was fun.
That was fun.
All right, and he got 5. He got 5 successes.
He's rolling good on those defenses.
Right?
Well, at least he's rolling good on defenses. The last couple rolls that I made have been complete crap.
I'm over here like, how much do I have to hit this guy?
Number 2. Who's that?
That's Priscilla, and she is going to feint by charging with her rapier,
Ooh.
pretending that she's going to go right at him, and then feinting to actually try to trip him. Knock him
Okay.
off his feet.
So if you're going for a trip, that's a maneuver.
Oh,
Or because a feint is you're like breaking through their defenses. Like he goes up for a defense and you find that gap in the armor to wound him.
okay. I had said I would feint, so that's
Okay.
what I would have to word it so that it's a feint, not
Yeah.
a defend.
Okay. So go ahead and roll your feint dice. As he's defending, he can't roll.
Ooh.
So this
So that is 3 successes.
okay. And he sees you charging in, and he assumes a traditional defending position again. But being as somebody who uses a rapier as well, you're well studied in this form of swordplay, and you're able to find the perfect gap in his stance to where he can't maneuver in time, and you just get him with a quick jab. That's going to bring us to the final person, which I believe is Squeakers.
Yep, and Squeakers. I wrote down his instinct at the beginning that offense is the best defense, so we're going to continue our offensive fighting.
And he is attacking as well.
Jesus Christ, dice. Okay. That's going to be 6 successes again. As I roll 3 5s and a 6.
6 successes, you say?
Nice.
And he got 3.
Okay, not bad.
So, seeing as how like you've been colliding and everything back and forth, he again assumes that you're going to attack, and he's getting frustrated with what's going on. So he goes into attack again, and you clash your weapons. You make your quick jabs and everything, but you could tell that like your axe is bit a little bit deeper than he has, as he is looking really bad at the moment. As like he's barely holding on. And he looks over and sees that the goose is no longer there with him, and that he's now staring 6 mice down.
We're just all in a circle around him.
And he sighs, and he just throws his weapons down at Robin's feet. I'm no fool.
Well, I'm glad this didn't have to go further than it already did.
So he kind of just like crumples down to where he's at, as he is just all cut up and bloodied and beaten and bruised.
And so I will, the weapons that he tossed down on the ground, I'm just going to kind of kick them off to the side. I'll look over at Fiora.
You recognize that when you kick the blades over to the side, that these are not standard issue, but like high ranking mouse guard weaponry. These are finely made weaponry that have the insignia of the mouse guards like on the pommel and blade of these weapons, but there's just like this, like just this line that has been like etched into it.
Okay, so I'll kick them off to the side, and then I'll look kind of at the rest of the group and just be like, nobody touch those. And I'll look over at Fiora. Maybe a little help with his wounds.
Oh, of course.
Everybody else, check the area for the stolen goods, and then I'll join Fiora at his side.
Oh, sounds like we finally have an order. We have an order. We haven't gotten many this game, but Squeaker's gonna start searching for stuff immediately.
I'll pull out my healer's equipment and start patching him up.
All right, and you could make a heal roll.
Okay. Since Robin said that he was going to help me, do I get the die or no? The extra die.
I'm just there because I want to talk to the guy.
Gotcha.
I don't have any sort of healing abilities to help with.
Jiminy Cricket. Okay.
How many did you
5
get?
out of 5.
5 out of 5. All right, you're able to like bandage his wounds and make sure that like you're able to pretty much just suture and bandage his wounds to where he's still a little weak, but he loses the injured status.
I basically take out my little like because it's mice, like the little, I forgot what it's called, where it's like the stone bowl with the stick.
Mortar
and just
and
kind
pestle.
Mortar and pestle.
Yeah, kind of like making a little salve or something, and then add like some leaves or something, not leaves, but they're like proper like herbal leaves to applied to it, so it goes onto the injury, and then wrap it, like little things like that to kind of make sure it's starting to heal.
Okay. And he just sits there and he lets you do it. He's just like sitting in just like a very somber silence. as those of you who are going through the area, the little camp that he's got, one of you go ahead and give me a roll. If you want, we could make it a survivalist roll.
I'd like to do that roll.
Okay, so you can do that. And as you have the 3 with you, because this is just basically scouring the camp, you can go ahead and add 3 dice on top of that.
Whoa, that's a lot of dice. Okay. Is a 3 is 1, 2, 3, so it has to be above a 3.
4, 5, and 6 for successes.
Oh my goodness, that's a terrible roll. Only 2 successes.
Only 2 successes?
Out of 9 dice or something ridiculous.
Still good enough to find the bags. As you enter into the camp and everything, you can see that the bags haven't really been hidden anywhere, as they're just sitting on a small makeshift a small makeshift bed. It looks like he had maybe just tossed them aside and he was still setting camp up for the night before going through the bags themselves. The bags actually look very flat, very empty, but they're the right color, the right make, everything for what the representatives of Merriment have told you.
But they don't look like they've been touched.
Nope.
They appear empty.
They appear empty.
Oh, righty. I am going to
Oh shit, they must be empty.
pick up one of the bags and hand one to someone else to carry to take back to where our Robber Mouse and Robin and Fiora are.
Okay.
I think when we get over there, Squeaker's response is be like, "You must have hidden the stuff somewhere. These are empty."
So before the rest of the group comes back to us, Robin's gonna kind of lean in and say in a relatively hushed tone, "While you've only got an audience of Fiora and I, would you mind telling us who you are exactly?"
I don't understand. What is there to tell?
You could start with a name.
Doesn't matter. You take me back. We all know what my fate is.
It matters to me. Your actions may have gone against everything that we stand for, but that doesn't mean you're not a person. I'd like to know who you are. I'd like to understand why you did what you did.
I'm curious as well, actually. Why would you do such a thing?
My name is Caleb. I'm a former guard captain.
Does the name Caleb ring any bells?
Same.
Well, you have mouse guard wise, so go ahead and
I
give
sure
me
do.
that roll. Or if you have mouse lore. I don't know if either of you
Yeah,
have
I was
mouse
gonna say
lore.
experience being in the guard for a long time count?
Only if you got mouse guard wise.
No, I don't.
Mouse guard wise and mouse lore would be the only 2 things that may give you a bit of knowledge as to who this individual is.
Nope, I got nature, herb, and birdwise, so nope.
I got 2 out of 2 successes.
Oh.
The name Caleb, along with being out here and carrying mouse guard issued weaponry, as well as another like an array of other weaponry, apparently with his crossbows and whatnot. You remember that about a year into, or not even a year, about a couple months into settling into your new capital, there was a guard captain by the name of Caleb who went out with his team in order to set up a scent border, pretty much claiming the territory for the guard. But things went wrong. Things went horribly wrong, and from the get-go, they were ambushed, they got lost, and one by one, he lost members of his team until he was the last one remaining. He was out there for about a month on his own before he was brought back by a rescue party. And then he simply just left one night, leaving his cloak behind and leaving the city, apparently.
Yeah, PTSD when nature goes too high.
Well, Caleb, our job isn't finished yet. We still have to return these bags.
Yeah, do whatever you want.
Well, you're
That's
going to
what
have to come with us, Caleb.
That's what a good mouse guard does, as they're
That is
told.
exactly what a good mouse guard does. Now, you are familiar with protocol.
Oh, I am quite familiar with protocol. Enough to know when a team is lost, you don't send anyone looking for them right away. And when they're found, they're brought back to a pauper's reception and just cast aside as if nothing happened. My team was lost out there. Nobody went to recover their bodies. And all
It
that
was
was
Brand new settlement, Caleb.
the
We didn't
guard
have the resources.
doesn't abandon its own.
They came for you, didn't they?
Too little, too late.
It
an
always
unfortunate
is.
situation.
I couldn't bring them home.
But you tried. That matters.
And when I requested a team to help me bring the bodies home, I was promptly denied. They weren't even memorialized. Might as well have been just a pauper's funeral that they got.
And if a team was sent to retrieve them and befell their same fate, what then? Would you carry their deaths on you as well?
Someone has to carry their memory.
Exactly. You do. That's why you're going to come with us to return these bags. And if the Guardians of Merriment find it in their very large hearts not to press any charges against you, then I have no reason to arrest you, Caleb. But either way,
You technically have no ground to arrest me anyway.
sure I do. You impeded the duties of the Mouse Guard.
I've done no such thing. The mouse guard wasn't there when I stole the bags. You don't have claim over these bags. And you don't have protection over those people. They're not a member of the city. They're not a member of the guard. They are simply forest dwellers.
Our job is to safely escort them back to Lockhaven. You got in the way of that.
Not
I
as a
have
means
the
to impede you.
grounds to arrest you, Caleb, but I
But
don't
why?
want to.
But why the bags? Why take those? What was the purpose behind that?
Survival. You really
I
think
take it
I'm
the bags?
you really think I'm the only one who lives out here? You don't think that there are others like me who don't really see Lockhaven as their home? You feel like as if they're outcasts or that society has just disregarded them. Those bags can mean a lot of good things for people.
I mean, I can sympathize. I do go to the towns, but
I'm not
I
talking
actually
about the
prefer being out
towns.
here.
I'm
No,
not
but I'm
talking
talking
about
about
the
being with
towns.
nature. Being out here and using what nature has to offer to survive. I
Those
am
bags are
aware
survival.
of it.
We clearly don't understand the same amount that you do, Caleb. Would you please enlighten us?
Of course, you guys wouldn't know what they do. The bags are said to be able to produce whatever is wished upon them. Food, supplies, blankets, whatever that I may need, whatever they may need. A possible infinite source of survival. I didn't steal these just to cause a ruckus. I need them. I need them for the city or for the people who the city has forgotten.
So you're part of a group of these outcasts? You're looking to provide for them.
Someone has to. I at least have the knowledge and ability to apply that knowledge. Not all of them have received guard training before.
You must understand then, Caleb, that by poaching people along our paths, whether they are citizens of Lockhaven or not, you are going to attract the attention of the guard.
I haven't poached anyone, save for those three.
And that's all it took to attract our attention.
You weren't sent out here because of me, and I know that.
No,
Our crossing was just an unfortunate happenstance.
but now we know about you. So if you were to poach along these paths again, that would be bad news for you.
Look, we don't poach people. I try to provide for those who can't provide for themselves. Those bags provided an excellent opportunity. It wasn't done out of madness. It wasn't done out of malice. It was done out of a need for survival. But
I
sure,
understand that, Caleb.
take
I
them.
do.
We could help. Now that we are aware, I know there are people who have good hearts to help and provide. Just have to ask. I know not everyone
Ask.
will listen, that's just how the world is, but we're certainly listening.
No, it seems like you're arresting.
Well, it's a gray area. I'm listening. But also, now that we're aware of the other people that need help, I'd be more than happy to provide what we can with going back to the town and bringing what people need out here.
Yeah, good luck with that. It seems like he slowly like stands up. It's like, look, I'm not sticking around here. Kill me or let me go. I don't care. But I'm not going back to Lockhaven in chains.
That's what I've
She'll
been
look to
trying
Robin.
to tell you, Caleb. I am bound to arrest you, bound by duty to arrest you if you give me reason to. But if you're not a danger to these paths, and if the Guardians of Merriment forgive your transgressions,
I can care less what they think. I'm saying I'm not coming with you. I have people to look after.
Caleb, listen to what I'm telling you.
Does this leaf smell like chloroform?
I am bound by duty. But if there is no danger, then I have no reason to arrest you.
You have my weapons, and I've told you that I don't poach people on the highways. I'm not like that. While you have Lockhaven, and Lockhaven has its guard, the people out here have me.
Which is why you need to accompany us to return these bags, so I can hear with my own ears that the Guardians have forgiven you, so you can walk away a free mouse. Do you understand what I'm saying, Caleb? I don't want to bring you in if I don't have to.
Then don't. Look, I don't know who those Guardians of Merriment actually are. But I also know in their hearts, they're not going to wish me punished. They're all about spreading peace and goodwill and presents to everyone.
Priscilla, would you please bring those bags over here?
Yeah. And I'd given one to somebody else, so there's two of us bringing the bags over. And here you are, Robin. They seem kind of empty, though. But this is all we found so far.
How many bags am I handed?
It would be a total of 3.
There would be 3, yeah.
See, it's the only thing I took from them. 3 bags, 3 representatives.
I'm gonna open up one of the bags.
As he reaches out, he like grabs you by the wrist and just shakes his head. You don't want to do that.
And why not?
You're not a representative. You take something out of those bags that don't belong to you. Rumor is you get put on a shit list.
The hand that he held out to stop me from doing that, I'm gonna put one of the bags in that hand. Then show me how you were gonna use them.
I wasn't. We got somebody back at town who claims they used to be one of these representatives till they got too old. Says they can still work the magic of the bag. I was going to let them see what they were going to do. Hence why bags were empty over here and nothing in my camp came from those bags.
Fiora, would you humor me for a moment and take the rest of the mice over to the water's edge?
To me, you're telling this to me or Priscilla?
To you.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I thought you were talking to Priscilla. Do you know what?
Watch
Yes,
the
I can.
edge. I've got traps set up there.
I knew it. That explains the scent I smell. Very well.
It was meant to keep the crabs away, but any of you trigger them, you're going to have a very quick ride downriver.
It is not a very calm river. Very well. We'll keep an eye out. Right. As she'll bring Priscilla and grab the other. Right. Well, we, as per orders from Robin, we need to go to the river as there seems to be some traps we need to disable. We got to make sure the forest stays safe for everyone. So, come on, let's all work together and do that.
You say that, he goes like, "Don't try to disable them. You can't. Just go stand by the river."
Very well. We'll stand and look at the pretty water, everyone. Probably need to refill our water skins anyway, so we can get. So, let's be careful. Let's go.
So once the rest of the mice have kind of looked away, Robin will look back at Caleb. For someone that seems to want to help so many mice, you sure do make things difficult, Caleb. Now, I don't claim to fully understand your predicament, but it seems to me that without your weapons, you no longer pose any danger to these pathways. Now, it's a shame we were only able to retrieve 2 of these bags, but I'm sure...
He holds up a hand. "I understand what you're doing, and I thank you for it. Take the bags." They weren't kidding when they said they will send a rescue team.
You've come all this way to get these bags. Now, with this opportunity before you, you're going to leave empty-handed.
I'm saving you from breaking your oath.
It's not my fault if a much younger, much sprier mouse outmaneuvered me and got away with some of the merchandise. They couldn't hold that against me, and even if they could, well, it's about time I retire anyway.
Shakes his head. "I won't let you lie for me either. We both know what happened here today. You take those bags back. I'll go back to my people. It'll be rough, but we can survive."
Then how about a trade? Not for the bags. I'll keep the bags. I will trade you those fancy weapons of yours in exchange for the location of your settlement.
Why?
I have plenty of funds sitting there doing absolutely nothing. If I can put them to good use, why not?
So you're telling me that you're willing to, well, for a lack of a better saying, put your money where your mouth is.
Give me the opportunity to try to change your mind about the Mouse Guard. Please.
All right. It's a deal. You got a map?
I don't, actually.
Right.
Nope. All I brought with me on this mission was this piece of chalk.
Pathfinders have cartography.
Give me a second.
I'm over. Me.
Accompany me to the camp. So he walks by and he just kind of like stares at the mice who are just like staring at the water. They took that literally.
Mm-hmm.
They're eager.
Apparently.
They all have very bright futures ahead of them.
So he walks over to like a chest, like next to the bed that was missed. So he opens it up and you can see like the inside are lined with like various like throwing daggers and different crossbow bolts and little what do you call them? Little bolas and whatnot. As he reaches in, he pulls out just like a rolled up a sheet of paper and unfurls it, and it's just like this beautifully designed map. It's like, here's Lockhaven. Here's our settlement. It's like, so none of you get eaten. And he like draws like a little pathway for you as to like where to go. Follow this path. It'll keep you away from the wolves.
I appreciate the map, and I can't promise that aid will be quick, but I can promise I will get to work on it the moment I'm back in Lockhaven.
You do whatever you need to do. But if it's truly aid you wish to give, I thank you.
I will deliver it in person. You can thank me then. I wish I could say it's been a pleasure, Caleb, but you've been a thorn in my tail from the moment this mission started.
Well, at least I proved to be an interesting afternoon then.
That it has.
And hey, you do retire. You get tired of the city life. Door's always open.
As long as there's no geese running about.
Honestly, I don't know where the hell that thing came from. It just decided that it wanted to help.
That tracks with all the stories I've heard. Your weapons are over there. I'll see you around, Caleb.
Hopefully not on the other end of a weapon again.
Hopefully not. I'll take the bags over to the rest of the team. Well, mice, the job of the guard is never finished. We've got some bags to deliver. And some merriment to escort.
Very well.
Yes, sir.
Sir, back to town.
Everyone is good, by the way. After the encounter, does anyone need some refreshments, some healing? I still have my kit out.
Thankfully, nobody's too injured. Though you noticed Talon is a little banged up because him and the goose kept running head on into each other.
Ooh,
Yeah,
yeah, let's help you out a little bit. She'll just kind of.
Yep,
Just
and
patch him up a bit.
because he doesn't have the injured thing, it don't need to roll.
Yeah, it's more of just for flavor.
It's just bandaging the superficial wounds.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, oh, you
I
got a
was only-
bruise there, right
I
on
was
your
only
chest,
thrown
right there.
against a few things a couple times. It's fine.
Yeah, got a little bruising. Let's fix them bruises.
Priscilla's going to take a moment to scoot over and grab her precious piece of silk and fold it up, even though there's a rip in it, and stuff it in her little take back.
And as all of you begin to head off with the bags in hand, Caleb just begins to pack up what he can and stuff other things into his bag before he sets off in the opposite direction. And as he does that, you return back to the rest stop where you left the guardians, or not the guardians, but the representatives. You return their bags back to them. And as you do, both Holly and Jacob thank you. They say a quick goodbye as they begin to head down their own paths towards the towns of their own peoples. And Jack accompanies you back to Lockhaven. A little bit more spring in his step as he has his bag once again and he doesn't have to worry about being fired. And as you make your way back into Lockhaven, just the mood around you begins to increase. As Jack walks by various doors and whatnot, small wreaths and various decorations begin to appear. The air begins to fill with a very vibrant, like evergreen and pine smell. As slowly but surely, everywhere he walks, the town becomes a little more festive. As he begins to make his rounds around town, he thanks all of you. And he looks to each and every one of you. He's like, "You definitely say all of you are on the good list this year."
Such a relief.
I'll put in a good word with the big man. Maybe spruce up your gifts for this year, seeing as how you helped me a ton.
Oh, spruce. That's a good idea. I wouldn't mind some spruce.
Yeah.
Wait, I thought you
Okay.
worked for a raccoon, not a man.
Figure of speech, kid.
It's, yeah.
You see the calculations flying by the head as he understands none of what was just said.
Once again, Drax emerges.
Yep.
Maybe while you're putting in a good word for us, you can put in a good word for a fellow named Caleb as well. He's going through a lot of effort just to help some poor mice.
Is that the guy that stole the bags?
It is.
I'll put in a word for him. You vouching for him, and you being a member of the guard and all that. I think your word carries weight. I'll let the big guy know.
I appreciate it.
Now, if you'll excuse me, gotta rest up because tonight is going to be murder. Why do you guys make domiciles so high up on that tree?
Wait,
It's efficient.
why are you murdering people? I thought you were supposed to bring gifts.
Kid, I'm not murdering anybody. I'm just saying that my tasks tonight are going to be murder on my muscles. A lot of work.
Or would
at
you
hand.
murder your muscles?
I'm getting this one in education is what I'm getting.
You should build a giant slingshot that would allow you to put the presents up there without having to climb.
We've tried that. We've tried that. Just ends in catastrophe. We've also tried, a giant catapult to throw our representatives, closer to where they're supposed to go. That ends so messy. Don't do that.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, maybe not a good idea.
No.
No.
So,
We're quite squishy.
yeah, until
Catapults are terrifying.
R&D figures out a more efficient way of delivering gifts, well, it's the old-fashioned way.
Well, I don't know about you, but I think we should all enjoy the festivities.
Yeah, take your time, enjoy the festivities. I mean, everything's all spruced up. More than likely, every place he goes is going to be giving away hot cocoa and gingerbread and cookies galore.
Ooh.
So, guards, thank you very much. Job well done. And enjoy the festivities.
You as well.
See you around, Jack.
He kind of smiles. He's like, no, you won't. As he kind of like touches his nose as he like vanishes in a poof of snow, and you all forget about him. You remember recovering the bags.
Something, but I don't know what it is.
You remember covering the bags. You remember that you had an altercation with Caleb. You remember escorting the representative of Merriment into the city. But you don't remember what he looks like.
Well, team, I think we've all earned some time off.
I think so. Did good. Each and every one of us.
We all did very good.
That was fun. Except, you know, for the whole catapult part. Please don't ever make me do the catapult thing ever again, please.
No. Not until we give you wings.
You can do that.
There are ways.
At the very least, not until we get Priscilla to make you a parachute.
Yeah, I'd prefer it that way. Please do not throw me anywhere without a parachute, or just please don't throw me anywhere ever again.
Actually, Rupert, you know, I have this silk. It'll take a little time, but I could make that for you as a gift.
Oh, actually, we need to return our supplies. Sorry, that was part of the agreement.
Oh,
But I already ate the almonds.
Well, the supplies that can be returned.
Okay, good.
There you go.
Yeah, you saw where I was going with that.
should I mend the
Does
hole
it make you just open your
first?
mouth?
Mm-hmm. It just starts to like get the almonds just out of his pouch cheeks, like full of goob.
As you
No.
discuss the returning of the items and then head off to enjoy the festivities is a well-earned respite for your day and a half of making sure that Merriment was brought to the new city of Lockhaven. We are going to end our little tale of mice and merriment.
Oh.
No.
As holiday is saved, merriment is brought to all the good little mice in Lockhaven. And some patrol mice got their first experience at a winter patrol. But that is going to do it for the tale of these little mice here. For now.
That was fun.
That was fun.
That was
Our dynamic was really good too.
It was cute.
Mm-hmm.
I love the whole working together as a team.
Yep.
Very
Yeah.
much.
I think we split ourselves up pretty well as far as making sure as we had at least a guaranteed fighter and then kind of work around that because as we saw, not a lot of us chose fighters, so we're like, this is good. This is good.
Yeah, I thought that was a good call.
But
Yeah.
that probably wouldn't, like, this probably worked better actually because we had a wide variety of skills.
Yeah.
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 Like having a team that is well diversified, you know,
Mhm.
in Mouse Guard games is a better rate of success for your missions and for
Yeah.
conflicts and the like.
Well, it even says in the book to like make sure everyone has an individual like
Mhm.
skill that they're good at and then go from there.
Yep.
And I think that's what really helps too to make us so diverse.
Yeah.
And it's fun how we shaped them into completely different areas, which was really cool.
And they had such personalities for only just such a very short time.
Yep.
Mhm.
Like
I will
for
say-
something that was very short, I really felt the mice all were very, very different and
I will
Mhm.
say that this little game has sold me on running a mouse guard campaign.
Yes.
So sometime in the future, more mice will be upon us.
I like the Mises.
We have another dice draw, though, don't we?
We do have another
We
dice
sure
draw
do,
before we
yeah.
sign off for tonight.
Maybe the
Mhm.
mice
Oh,
could
forgot.
come back at Easter.
Easter Mises. We find the giant hare.
I will say when
Yeah.
the day comes that we do a mouse guard campaign, I am not being patrol leader. That shit's hard, man.
Technically,
You did a good job, though.
Technically,
You did
don't.
a great job.
Technically, you don't have to be a patrol leader. Like if there is no patrol leader, like there's like an NPC or, you know, the only reason why I required a patrol leader this time around is because winter is the most dangerous time for a mouse guard patrol, because not
Yep.
only do you have to deal with, you know, wildlife out there who are either getting ready to hibernate and are looking for food, you have to deal with the winter predators, you have to deal with the snowfall, you have to just deal with absolute chaos. And that's why they only send out experienced teams in order to deal with like the winter stuff, while the rest of the guard are like, go back to their families, go back to their apprenticeships, or doing whatever they do into town. It's sort of like a work from home situation.
Yep.
They patrol, they help with with the city stuff, while the more experienced mice are out on patrol. But yeah, let's go ahead and do that draw.
Yeah, we've already gone over the rules several times today, so I'm just gonna go ahead and skip over that.
Go ahead and do them one more time, just because we have
One more
we
time?
have more
Okay.
people in chat.
Okay. So you
I
have
wanna skip
until
over it.
I finish going over the rules to enter by typing !December. As soon as I finish, I'm going to close it up and draw a winner. So back up at the top with rule 1. You cannot enter these giveaways that we do on behalf of someone else. We have that rule in place to give everyone an equal chance of getting into them. You have to be present when the drawing of these giveaways happen, which one is about to happen here in a minute or two. And you must be able to tell us what it is that you won if your name is drawn. Simply saying dice or anything of that sort is acceptable. And you must also be a member of our Discord. That rule is in place because we use that to verify that you are who you say you are. And also, I will be contacting folks through Discord to get their shipping information when the time comes to ship these dice out, which, as a reminder, probably not until end of January, early February at the latest. And then finally, although this one is exempt from this particular rule, you cannot win more than once within a week, and you cannot win more than twice total. Since we have been doing these giveaways since the beginning of the month and will be doing them until the end of the month, this is in place to give everybody a chance to get in on these giveaways without a single person just winning everything. So yeah, it is !December to enter. And I will be closing it up here in just a minute. So if you don't have an entry in, do it now. Time's running out.
I don't have Jeopardy music for you.
We'll get DMCA'd.
Sadly.
Truthful.
Only if you play a couple seconds of it.
I think we're delaying just to be
Make sure Sora
Just-
gets in there.
Yes.
Sora
Entry.
gets to put the full
Yeah.
word in because they didn't the
There
first
we go.
time.
There you
There you
go.
go.
Perfect.
Ah,
Perfect.
okay.
Okay. So I will close it up and draw a winner.
Oh, I
Shellhound.
won again.
Wow.
Collusion.
Look at duck.
Collusion.
They can tell us what it is that they won.
All comes down to this. Do you have the right answer? What did you win?
There you go.
Yay.
There we go.
Congratulations, Shellhound. I will add you
Woot woot.
to the list here. And if you entered these giveaways today and are sad that you didn't win, don't worry. We have lots more to do. I will go as far as to say every show that we have remaining in the month, there will be at least one giveaway happening. Some of them will have 2 giveaways, so multiple chances to win.
Yep. And leading to that, yes, thank you everyone for tuning in for the conclusion of tonight's little mini episode, little mini adventure for the holidays of Mice and Marriott. If this is your first time here, this is not the only show that we do. Coming up on Saturday is going to be the Rojan Voice Murder Special, which is 2 different games. Starting at noon PST, we have Withered Waste, which is a 5th edition game that I run. And then coming up later that evening at 8 p.m. Pacific time, we have Vigilant 6, which is a homebrew-ish kids on bikes, kids on brooms style game where our wonderful players take the role of fledgling superheroes. Lot of fun. I can't wait to get back into that since we've been on break from that for a little bit. Next week, there are no episodes because we're getting into a couple days before Christmas. But normally on Mondays, we would have Destiny Forged, which is our longest running show here on Behold Roleplay. We are currently in our 4th campaign, which is another 5th edition game that I run. Tuesdays, we would have Star Wars Tales of the Outer Rim, which is a Star Wars game run by Tiltbot. Thursdays are a little bit of a alternating special here. We've got Mass Effect Horizons, which is a Mass Effect game that is run by Zorro. And then we've got Tricorn Isles, yes, that's it, which is another chaos-fueled 5th edition game that I run. And coming up after the first of the year, maybe on the 11th or 25th of January. Not sure if we've set the full on start date yet, but we will have a new mini game coming out, which is going to be Malz's first time as a DM, running D&D 5th edition of a little bit of a D&D Bridgerton-esque and styled campaign called The Downfall of Propriety. And that will be, like, as soon as we get the hard set date, that will be taking place on Saturdays when Withered Wastes is not going on. But yeah, I think for now that is going to do it. Thank you so much everyone for tuning in, and we will catch you on Saturday for another episode of Withered Wastes, and then later on for Vigilant 6, both of which are going to have more December giveaways. So tune in if you want your chance to win some more of the pretty dice. But then until then, everyone, thank you so much for tuning in. We'll catch you later.
Have a happy holiday.